Hey guys, Andrethefarmer here, and this is a mango seedling. We're here at Washington Shores Community Garden. I'm about to take over some of this garden or help out with the garden. And this is a mango seedling they've had here for years. It's a pretty big tree, but it's never fruited, and that's because it's a seedling. And seedlings take a long time to fruit. So there's a couple things you can do to speed up the fruiting. One, we're gonna prune off the unnecessary branches, right? So all these branches down here, or not even branches, leaves growing on the trunk, that's just taking energy away from the tree, and it's really not providing any potential for fruit. So we're taking all those off. Even these lower branches we're gonna take off. And that's already gonna give this tree a couple advantages. One, it's not gonna waste energy on these lower branches here or these lower leaves. Two, it's getting a little bit of trauma, and trauma can cause a tree to want a fruit because it thinks the tree thinks it's going through trauma, it may die, so it's also gonna stimulate it to fruit. Now, we're gonna also graft onto this tree, because when we graft on the tree, two things happen. One, we're gonna get a branch that is ready to actually produce fruit, because this is from a mature fruiting tree. And two, it can stimulate the rest of the tree to fruit as well. So we're gonna try to find a branch that sort of fits about the same diameter as this branch, which this came off of one of my trees at home. I believe it's a Malacca mango. And this is our scion. We're just gonna go ahead and cut that there. And now we're gonna try to find a branch that fits about the same size as this. And I think we found it. I think it's right about here. We cut that off here. Let's check it out. That's a pretty good match right there. All right, so we're gonna get our buddy tape. And this you can get online. You have to buy it from the company. It's a bit of a mom and pop shop, so you can't really get it on Amazon. But the great thing about this buddy tape is the leaves will grow right through this. You never have to remove this. So it's really good for grafting. It's a little expensive, but one roll will last you a very, very long time. It probably has about a couple hundred strips in it. And you really only need 1 or 2 strips for each graft. I kind of butchered that one a little bit, so I'm gonna get a second strip, but usually it's 1 strip. And all that does is help keep the moisture in, because the number 1 reason why grafts fail is they lose moisture. Got our grafting knife here, and all we're gonna do is cut a wedge. So we're gonna trim both sides down until we get down to a nice wedge. We wanna imagine that we've cut this down to the thickness of 1 cell, which is not possible to do, but you just want to imagine that you've done that. And we're gonna go to our branch here, and we're just gonna cut a wedge or a groove. Right, cut a wedge. We're cut a groove down the middle here. And we're gonna insert our scion. And we want that scion to be in there so we don't see a lot of daylight and it holds itself. So now I can see that that holds itself. So that's pretty good graft in there right now. We're gonna just grab our buddy tape. Our grafting tape, which is a cheaper tape you can get on Amazon. And we are just going to pull it nice and tight, and it turns into basically a bit of a string for us. And we're gonna use that to wrap around here, and just to create the tension so that these two cambiums, the cambium of my scion and the cambium of my recipient, are in contact with each other. Pretty nice tight wrap here, and we're just gonna tie this in a knot. And like I said, 2 things it's gonna do. This branch, next year, this branch will probably produce flowers. Whether it's strong enough to carry the fruit all the way to maturity, I'm not sure. But the other thing that it's gonna do, it's gonna stimulate the rest of this tree to actually fruit. So, if you have any questions or if you learned anything, hit the like button. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. And subscribe, follow, and I'll see you next time. See you guys. Bye.